What up, though? Yes, yes, yes. We are back again. Me and my man Big Ragu. What's up, Big Ragu?
Hey, today's Saturday, right? We got the Belmont happening. The card is fantastic. Every race today in New York is basically going to be a superstar race, major talent in all the races. It's like a Breeders' Cup, but on a smaller scale. It's probably going to be the best day for horse racing up until the Breeders' Cup. So we're getting fired up for these races and look forward to the day to make some money, cash some tickets.
Let's go. So y'all wake up, get your coffee, get whatever you need, get to the track if you can, or if not, get your account out and let's do this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just walk through all 10 horses in the race. Me myself, I'm looking to throw out 4, keep 6. I don't know if I'm gonna put them in the exacta box, trifecta box or whatever. But that's my plans. Me and my man Big Ragu, the Don. He's the Don of these horses, and we just gonna go through it, man. So 2000 Belmont Stakes. Anything you want to say off top about the race itself, Big Ragu?
Well, we're definitely not having a triple crown winner this year. That we know. There's a couple angles that you can look at the race. You got fresh horses. You got some horses that ran in the Derby. You got a couple horses that ran in the Preakness that are coming in. But mainly, the angle I like to look at on the Belmont is I like to take a horse that ran in the Derby. Obviously he didn't win because if he won, he would have ran in the Preakness. But the horses that have rested out of the Derby, jumping into the Belmont, seem to be a good measurement for success in this, especially in the past, 10 years or so. So that's my angle on the race. So if you look at it that way, you probably got a handful of horses in that category. But that's where I start looking. Then you got the throwouts like we want, like you said, you want to eliminate some horses. Um, so, certain horses that are moving fast that probably have no business running a race. Just there to take a shot, like a one run shot. There's a few of those in there also. So we'll break them down and we'll look at them and see what we can come up with.
That's right. That's right. And I'm also, before we go any further into it, let's talk about some of the horses that we haven't seen that are showing up in this race right here. Like the first horse out of here. I can't pronunciate all these names all the time, but this one is Jovis. Jovia. There we go. Jovia. Yeah. Now, Jovia wasn't nowhere around for the Preakness nor the Kentucky Derby, but he comes right here in the Belmont. Now, many of you advanced horse racing cappers, y'all know that, trainers and stuff throw horses in different places to do different things. A lot of politics goes on. What you think about this first horse, Jovis? And before we get into that, though, my 1 second, Big Ragu, I just want everybody to know right now up on the screen I have what is this, Horse Racing Nation right here. We looking at Horse Racing Nation. We went through this in the Preakness. Has a lot of information you can see right here, and we're just gonna go through that horse by horse. And I also have a new website. It's actually not just a new website, it's a betting website, and it's an app for your phone. Bet America, there it is right there. We're also going to go through that one. This one right here will allow us to total up our bets and everything before we get it in. So Horse Racing Nation and ameribets.com, this is what we're going through today. Now let's go. First horse, how you say it again, Big Ragu? Jovia. Now, so what's your thoughts on Jovia?
Yeah. Jovi is a local horse. He runs up. He's race. Came 7th in that so he's got some experience running against some of the quality horses there. Outside of that, prior to that race, July, and then he had a long layoff. He came back in February and ran Aqueduct and won. So that was pretty impressive there. And then he ran. That was a $150,000 race. Then his next race, He ran in the mile and eighth, and he came second to Always Mining. So recently too in the Preakness. So he's got some pretty decent quality races there. You know, he ran against Tax. He came second to Kyle, the horse that won the race that I had a few months back. You know, on the trail. So he ran again. He's fared out not too bad. Like you say, he ran the Wood. The Wood really was his worst race. He came seventh, but all the other races he's won two and he's placed twice. So 2 out of 4 races he's hit the board, you know, and exact the money. So, and he's a speed horse. That's the other thing I want is the speed of the race. So he's going to get out there and set the pace. He's in the 1 hole, which is probably good for that. And he's going off at 30-1 morning line. So the thing that's dangerous about lone speed in the race, if you let the speed get out, he could take off and run. Now the question for him is the class number 1 in the distance. So, and it's all going to be distance for these guys. This horse here is definitely a speed horse, and you rarely see anybody go wire to wire in the Belmont.
Yeah, but you know how those horses are. All it takes is them to get scared or something, get a little thing, and they'll be gone. But as far as what you said about his background right here, now I have to say these first 2 races over here. Which one was this? At the Jimmy Winkfield and the MSW. Those were at 5 furlongs, and then again at 7 furlongs. You think we should just kind of throw those 2 races out? That was like kind of like just walking, but he was very impressive, like you said, in a nice class race when he did step out. But then he did fall down, or I don't know what happened right here in the Wood Memorial. He came in 11th place, but then he came back with that one. Now another thing that I see here on the Horse Racing Nation's website, he's already booked for the Haskell Invitational, or it says possible, but that means if they put it on here, it's more than likely that he's going to be going over there. So it looked like it was a look ahead, that they found the opportunity to bring him in now. So they brought him in. So I don't know. You think you keep him or you throw him out?
Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't use him just for the fact because of the style that he runs in this race. You know, he's a speed horse, and he's going to want to break out and then run. You know, so I don't know if he's going to have enough gas to do the mile and a half. You know, he's definitely going to set the pace. So depending on how quick he gets out and where he's at the half mile, you know, determine how much he'll probably have left in the tank. So there's not a lot of pace in the race, but he definitely will set the pace. But like you were saying, you know, how he stretched out, you know, he started out as 5 furlongs, went to 7, and went to 1 and a mile 16th. That's not very unusual because usually the horses always start out like 5 and a half furlongs.
But I don't think it should weigh on this race because that's just how horses start with the lower races like that. But his bounce back in the good race against Always Mining and them was pretty good. Now I'm gonna switch over real quick. Mind you, y'all that's watching it, my man Big Ragu, he can't see what I got up on the screen right now, you know. But he's talking off the top of his head the exact stats as y'all can see that was up while he was speaking. But I'm gonna go over to the Bet America site right here real quick, just because we talked about speed and class, and this is an interesting thing with this website. A lot why I keep it on my phone is because you can get a lot of information on the one website, and you can also bet right there. So yeah, it does break down everything by speed and class. There's a little drop down right here. You can get the quick view, fast forward, speed and class, horse stats, jockey stats, trainer stats, and more horse info. But let's look at speed and class on there, like you said. So right here, they got them down at an average speed of 92, which is impressive compared to Everfast, who's 79, Master Fencers 96, Tax 93, Bourbon War 97, Spinoff 89, Sir Winston 79, Intrepid Heart 97, War Wheel 96, and Tacitus 100. So yeah, he is a top right there. Like you said, he's against the rail. I think we could pretty much lock him in as a pace setter. But you know, I think maybe the best he might get is maybe a 4th place.
Yeah.
So
That's a good. I mean, that's a good look. I mean, he's going to be involved in the race just for the fact that he's setting the pace. That's all you have to know
Yeah,
about
so
that horse.
I'm gonna definitely throw this one out. That's a throw out for me. We got to win some money somewhere. He has the highest odds on the paper. Not something I'm interested in right now. We know a decent odd horse is gonna actually win this race, but I'm throwing him out. All my exotics and everything. I don't know about you, but he's out of there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not using him.
Okay, let's go over to the next horse then. Try to keep this on a decent pace. Next horse is I don't know. Everfast, yeah. I'm trying to bring it up on the screen right here. Okay, here we go. Everfast, okay? Everfast, 14. Oh, no, not 14. My computer's jumping all around here. Yeah, he's 12-1. I was trying to see what he came up in his last race. Okay, last race, Preakness, he came in second. His breed, he has a little Seattle Slew in him, a little AP Indy. Nice breed right here for Everfast. I was on Everfast in the Preakness, and it's a nice horse, but he's kind of a small horse. I don't think this horse is gonna make it the full ride with a big, nice horses like Taxidermus and stuff in the race coming down the end. This horse could get stumbled right here. But the record on this horse, he's been out there a lot. He's been doing pretty good. He's did fairly well at a mile and 16th. At a mile in the 8th, he ran 9th. And then last in the 3/16 of a mile, he did run second. So what you think about this one, Big Ragu?
Well, what's really interesting about this horse, I mean, he's out of Calumet Farms, okay? So Calumet Farms is one of the top breeders in the state of Kentucky. They have a handful, but Calumet's always, that's why you see the Seattle Slew, because Seattle Slew, APND, very nice horses there to start off with, so it's a top quality farm. They don't play around. But if you look at his very first race, I mean, his horse has got a ton of races under his belt for a 3-year-old. He's got almost a dozen, or 2, 4, 6, 8, almost a dozen races. That's a lot of races for a 3-year-old, But anyways, his very first race he ran, he started at a mile 16. So all his races, very interesting, has been a mile 16. And then he ran a mile and 8 in Gulfstream once, and then he ran a mile at Churchill Downs on a Pat Day grade 3, which he came 5th. But this horse started out as a distance horse, so they must have known something with this horse when they put him on a track that he was all about distance. So, I mean, that being said, he doesn't have a lot of. He's ran 11 lifetime runs. He only won once and came in second twice. So, outside of that, he hasn't been very successful. So they keep thinking this horse is going to fire, I guess, because he hasn't hit the board a whole lot at the same time. I figured they would change it up for him, maybe put him on grass or cut his distance back a little bit to see how he performed. Now, he did run 1 mile and he came 5th. But the last time out in the Preakness, that's when he really ran his best race. He came second, and he was moving pretty good. Joel Rosario was up on him, and he came, at the second call, he was in 11th, and he went second. So maybe they.
Yeah, I don't know here. The thing that I've seen about this guy, and this was over on the Bet America app, which when you go over here and you take it down to the quick view, the power. Well, no, where was it? Where did it go? Here we go. The speed and class on this one right here. So last class at 108, average class 98. So he's been through it, but his speed is really low at 79. But even though it's going to be a slow pace, because it's going to be a lengthy race, I don't think that, especially coming from the 2 spot, like he might jump out there with the 1, and he probably die off fast, just because his speed is so low. What you think?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to die out fast. I think he's going to be sitting on a charge at the end of the race. In other words, he's not going to. He probably won't be involved very easily. I mean, he's not going to be involved quickly. He's probably going to be middle race, and he's going to make a run. I think that's what this horse is going to try to do because of the distance factor that's in his bloodline and the way he's ran his races prior. Like I say, he's ran all graded stake races, which is very surprising. And the thing about it is, if you look at who he ran against, some of the horses we know in the Preakness, Bourbon War a couple of times, he's ran against, none of those horses have went on to win bigger races. So that tells me the races he ran in, those horses, after they've won those races, they haven't moved on to better career races. So he's just an average horse in my book.
Okay, so keep him or throw him out. Where you gonna put him?
Well, I mean, if I'm playing like 4 or 5 horses, he's gonna be a throwout for me. Now, here's the thing: if you key in on a horse and you want to put a bunch of horses in behind it, then you might throw them in there to maybe get a little small piece of 3rd or 4th. But if you're just gonna box up some horses, you're gonna use a throw out. But if I'm gonna key one horse and I put a bunch of playing tries and supers, just because of the price, like 15 to 1, maybe 20 to 1 by the time the.
You heard it here first, man. That was excellent advice from a man, Big Ragu, on that one right there. And I'm before I end this show, I'm going to come up with the horses I'm going to throw out, which ones I'm going to keep. I'm definitely, number 1 is out. Number 2 is on standby right now. So I'm going to keep that one on standby right there. But let's jump on over into the next one, which is Master Fencer. Now this is a Japanese horse right here. Now with the tariffs and stuff going on right here, I don't know. We got some politics going on in this one. I couldn't see the Japanese horse winning a big race like this. Have the Japanese horse ever won like the Belmont or something like that?
I know the last Japanese horse I remember. I don't think the last Shikowski was like last year. He ran a big race, but he wasn't Japanese. He was Irish, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So Master Fencer, I don't think they sent him over for the Derby, and I think it's one of those things where he didn't run very well in the Derby either. So he's already here, so they kind of comes out of the race, and if he comes out good, then they take a shot in the Belmont because they're already over here, shipped, quarantine, the whole 9 yards. So just on that angle, I'm not a fan of shippers running at Belmont, out of the country. Like there are the because they think that stretch run that he had in the Derby because he finished up real strong down the stretch, that he wanted a little bit more, so they figured, okay, and point him that way. So, but then he did have a real bad workout that took a lot of people off of him early in the week. But some people were scratching their heads, like the horse acted up. He didn't show out real good on the training. So a lot of people got off of that horse for that reason.
Now, I do see on this horse, the speed on this horse, average speed is 96, got a power rating of 108. It's a really good horse on paper, and also at 8 to 1, it's kind of leaning towards, some people out here really like this horse, but I'm like you. I just don't see it happening at the Belmont for this horse. There's a lot of other good horses in this race. And I don't know. I think this one for me is probably going to be a throw out. I mean, if you're going to beat me with that one, you just got to beat me with that one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. And you're going to have a couple of those in there too. You're going to have those horses that you're going to say, even though the odds might reflect a decent price or, somewhere that's respectable, you might not like the horse for reasons like we talked about, and you're just going to toss him just for that reason.
Yeah, well, only 4 spots really counting the whole race anyway, so all the speculation don't matter. So let's move on to this next one, Tax. Now I really like Tax. I've been liking Tax for a while. I like Tax in some of the previous races. I like Tax. I like his pedigree and stuff. What you think about Tax? Uh huh.
About him in the Derby, when I capped the Derby, this horse has never finished no worse than second, first, second, third, and he's got a good tactical horse. He doesn't have to come off the there right off the lead, and he's kind of like to run down the stretch a little bit. He makes his big run. He stays in the race, and he makes that he makes that run down the stretch. So, and he did give Tacitus a good run in the Wood Memorial. Came second to him. So, I mean, the thing for us now is, I think the trainer himself, after the Derby, he really didn't want to run him in the Belmont. Uh, Danny Gargan, he's the local trainer in New York, and he figured it'd be a good idea. But the owners are from New York, and they wanted him in this race. So a little bit of an issue there. Plus, this horse has a foot issue too, that he had to put some plastic in his foot. So, I mean, so the issue of him, the owners and the trainers not agreeing 100%, it's going to be a toss for me.
Oh,
Even though he's a nice horse.
He's a really nice horse. He's come out of a nice stable. The pedigree is nice. He has some nice wins. He didn't do good in the Kentucky Derby, but you got to kind of throw the Kentucky Derby. Too much chaos in that race. But other than that, he's a pretty nice horse.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at him up, in fact, when I first capped the race, this is the horse I was going to use as my long shot horse. So this is how horse racing is. You go, that you overthink stuff, but when you start analyzing, you say, "Wait a minute, I found something here. I got to get rid of them."
And you got it's a freak of nature type thing. I see what you're saying, but this horse also is a gelding right here. That's the only gelding in the race too, and that's ever since who was it? Funny Side was the gelding. I got another respect for geldings, man. If when they go ahead and make them a gelding, there's nothing else for them to do but become a racehorse.
Well, great point. Now, what else is this horse going to do if he's not running? I mean, he's not going out to stud no time soon. Right. So you might as well run a shot.
Yeah. So I think the
horse is nice. I'm
gonna put him on standby. I'm gonna put the 4 on standby, and once we get to the end of this, I'm gonna look at it again. Like you said, if you're taking some extra spots, you might as well throw him in there somewhere. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's the horse that I want to say I'm okay with that horse beating me. Yeah. But then, like you said,
he'd be one to jump up and bite you in the ass.
Yeah, and I'm never one. Whenever it's upper management type issues, like you explained, trainer, whenever it's controversy, I think you got to build a strong foundation, to build a good building. And whenever it's not good in that area, it's usually not good overall. So that when you pointed that out, that explains the 15-1. That explains a lot of stuff in this race right here. And I might throw him out at the end, but it's such a good horse. I would hate to be beat by him. He went neck and neck with Tacitus in one race, and he's tough. He can hang in there.
I love everything about that horse. I mean, if I didn't know what I told you, like if I just looked at it on paper, I said that's my long shot play in this race.
Yeah.
In the store, that would have been it. As a matter of fact, I did have him early in the week as my long shot, but as I did more deeper, I dug into the race a little bit more and found out a little more information. I said I'm off just for those 2 reasons.
Yeah, the plastic in the foot too. That's kind of tough.
Yeah. Well, it's all about the connections. The connections getting along. I mean, look at not to subject, but look what happened to Baffert this year with all his little squirrely things.
Yeah.
So anytime there's like a little kink in the armor, it just kind of disrupts the whole
Yeah,
process.
especially right now with they're under a microscope right now with all the stuff that happened in Kentucky Derby, everything going on at Santa Anita. That little part right there could be just that extra little oomph to make you say, "Nah, I'm not messing with that one." But let's go to the next one, Bourbon War. Now, this one makes me toss and turn at night because I was really high on Bourbon War. This is a racehorse right here. This guy is a runner, right? But something is wrong in the whole system right there. Why he's not winning like he should be winning. So I don't know what you think about Bourbon right here.
Yeah, I know uh, our boy Jimmy had him in the Florida Derby or the Fountain of Youth, I believe it was, when he came up second, ran into a at the end. That's his MO. That's what he does. Now he skipped the Derby because, and then he ran and so right. I figured it wasn't going to be a good race for him because just because the way the race was going to set up, with the pace and everything there also. But he didn't run a bad race. But I figured what they were going to do with the Preakness is they're going to point him towards this race, even if they didn't get the perfect trip, it wouldn't matter because ultimately they probably wanted to win this race more than they wanted the Preakness. So they used not the Preakness for a tune-up race, but in his gears, to kind of kick him over because now it's coming off of race after the layoff, which I think he's going to take a step forward. A lot of pace here because we know we only have the one speed horse. So depending on how to race it in this race, he gets Mike Smith on him. And Mike Smith has been bounced around for the whole Triple Crown. Originally, he was on Omaha Beach. When Omaha Beach got scratched, he's been taking other mounts. So the whole throughout stepchild jockey, they keep putting him on different horses because and who doesn't want Mike Smith the right horse anyways? You know what I mean? So he's probably one of the top 2, 3 jockeys out there all time. Big Money Mike, they call him, right? So shot. That's a good look right there. So
now I love that. I love that move on there with Mike Smith. I love that move right there. But I really love this horse too. Out of all the tapping horses in the race, it's my favorite. It's like this is some of the horses might be a little faster, might whatever, but this is the horse that you can strap on the weaponry and, like you said, go looking for the kill at the end. And when you talk about a longer race, gives you more time to close for a horse like that. And I'm definitely. I had seen something bad about Bourbon War though. It was something that turned me off about Bourbon War. I forgot what it was, but I think I gotta keep Bourbon War in the mix somewhere. You got Bourbon War in your mix?
Absolutely. He's one of my first horses that I gave out in the exacta. So the way I'm gonna play, I'm boxing him in exacta. And he's the first one that I put in out of if you're going 1 through 10 because I broke it down horse by horse like we're doing tonight. And when I got there, he was a play automatically for me. Tap it like you said, and then his on the dam side, his grandfather, for the Mike Conquistador, her father was Artie Schiller. Now Artie Schiller could run all day, so reading for it, and he's won some big races. Artie Schiller's a big time money horse, so I don't know how successful on the broodmare side, but I think he's done pretty decent overall. If you look at some of the bloodlines he's threw out there. So you put that with Tappet, and you get Mike Smith, and you get a horse that likes to close. You get a 1.5-mile race. I mean, all the signs are there for something good to happen. The only thing he's lacking maybe a little pace. So that might hurt him a little bit, but we'll see. You never know how these races are going to unfold.
Yeah. Well, his speed is decent at 97. He has 102 power rating, and he's definitely a classy horse, and he's been in lots of good competition.
Definitely distance. If you look at all his races, like he when they started like that, we talked about the one horse. All his races started out over a mile, so he was bred to run the distance. So they didn't break him in 5 furlongs, 6 furlongs, 7 furlongs. Then mile and 16. They started him out right at a mile and eight.
Yeah.
So they ran him right out of the gate, and he finished fourth. Not bad. And then his next time out at Gulfstream, he ran a mile 16. Horses got legs under him. He's got stamina. He's got talent. He could be sitting on a big race.
Yeah, I like it. So we both agree right there. We're gonna keep the 5 for sure. So let's jump into the 6 spinoff. Now, spinoff. What can I say about spinoff? I was kind of on spinoff and off spinoff. I'm not. I just have questions as if he's a good. I think Jimmy's on spinoff. But yeah, I just have too many questions. He's too questionable to me. I don't see him as the winning horse, but he probably could place. But I don't know. What you think about spinoff?
Yeah. The Louisiana Derby, I bet him to win. That was when we were in. Anyways, spinoff was one that I gave in the Louisiana Derby. On a mile and eighth, he was coming off. It was his second time coming out off the layoff, and he was getting a little bit better. And he did run a great race. Okay, he got beat him, and he got caught at the wire. He lost by 2 lengths. He kind of got lackadaisical at the end of the race, and the horse ran by him. So. But I thought we had that race run. He ran a 102 Brisnet rating, which there's a little bit different speed rating, but it's still, if you look at what you got the speed rating in front of you there, what is it on the buyer speed?
It doesn't average. Yeah. It has an average. It doesn't have it race by race. Yeah, but he's 89.
Oh, average was the Derby.
Yeah, he's 89 on average. Race. Oh, it was his best race.
Yeah, his best race was Louisiana Derby, and then of course he came second there, but he had enough points to get in, and he didn't do it. I think he didn't like the slop. That I know for a fact. So he could, and then the Derby was his third race out. That's another reason I liked him. So I figured he'd improve off of the Derby race. I said, this horse is a huge race, and he broke out like 6 wide, didn't like the slop, and he had a new jockey on him too, Manny Franco, which is a great jockey, by the way, too. Nothing against Manny, but now he picks up Javier, and he's a Pletcher horse, so that alone is giving him a lot of play, and so they're going to be betting Javier and Pletcher here with him, and here's the key factor why I don't think he's going to win the race. You talked about why. He's had a hard spun. Hard spun is a great miler race, mile and eight. He can win anything above that. I think he's going to flatten out. So I don't think this horse is going to get the distance. He's got all the talent to do it. He's a nice horse, but I don't think he's suited for the distance. So he's going to flatten out. You're going to see him probably at the 16th pole or the 8th pole. You're going to start to see him starting to wean out a little bit. So I think he's a nice horse, but I don't think he gets the distance. Well, he could be a money horse to use in the exotic. So I wouldn't throw him out. I would definitely use him in the exotic.
Now, the thing that turns me off about spinoff too is Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher in the big races this year, I think he's kind of lackadaisical. And with Bob being out the way right now, I would expect him to be a lot more enthusiastic. I mean, he's taking a shot in the race, but he's kind of reaching. So, I mean, one of his horses has to place. But, I'm not high on Todd. And it shows right here, and this is in the Bet America app. It shows the last 365 with jockey, the starts, and the wins on that one. So with this jockey and with this trainer connection, looks like
That's
83.
his best jockey.
Yeah, and they're 20% with Javier and Pletcher combined, a 20% winning ratio. So 20% chance. I don't know. It's double digits. So you gotta take that in consideration. And I'm gonna go ahead and put Spinoff in, because I'm probably gonna go 5 or 6 deep anyway, and I don't see no reason why to leave him out. And plus, I definitely don't want to. I don't want to watch the low bag show every day, and Jimmy been talking about this horse, and then I don't put nothing on it, and
Oh, yeah. You got to
yeah,
use it.
I gotta throw him in
I
there.
mean, he's a nice horse.
Yeah.
Where he finishes up at the end of the race, we don't know, but he's definitely going to be involved in the race. He's one of these horses that's going to be coming up the back stretch, probably close to the lead. And then, and usually, and I probably, if I'm thinking, I'm not going to speak for Jimmy, but if just by looking at his form, and usually the Belmont, horse half-mile mark that's close, a length or two off the leader, usually finishes up, wins a race, or someone of that nature is going to be, and that horse fits the bill for that, because he's going to be right close. If not, he probably won't be on the lead, but he'll be second and third, I think, when it comes up.
And then being in the sixth spot is not helping them either. So I don't know, but like you said, we can't count that one out. So we got to keep Spinoff in there. So let's go on to the next one, which is going to be Sir Winston. Now this horse is Sir Winston. Was Sir Winston first time in the Triple Crown?
This is his first Triple Crown race. He's ran the qualifying races, but he didn't qualify for the Derby. So when he didn't qualify for the Derby, he made the decision to hold him out of the Preakness. But I guess his goal with this horse was more suited for the Derby, because he had run on artificial surface, and I guess with him having the kind of point him towards the Belmont, because he had a Peter Pan race back in May, and probably after that race, they probably made the decision not to run him into the Preakness, but hold him. So he ran a real nice race, his last race out campaign, which is not running. He had a 101 Brisnet speed, and but he came, off the pace a little bit, and he didn't catch Global Campaign. He finished up by about a length behind him. That's his last race, so I guess they figured what he can do.
And for those of y'all that's following me on the computer, my connection is jumping around. I didn't push the wrong thing, but I'm on Sir Winston here. Trainer Mark Cassie. What can we say about the breed here? The breed is nice.
His grandfather on the dam side of Fleet, Alex, he had great success and Awesome Again, that's really good California blood right there, a lot of connections out there for our
the form for this one.
I got drew a blank. Yeah,
Tracy,
Awesome Again.
Oh no,
He's out of that's the owner, but Dina Springs. That's the same farm what goes down. Mucho Macho Man. They got good qualities. Awesome Again's a great horse. Good breeder.
Now they raced the hell out of this horse too.
Yeah. Well, see Mark Cassie, he did what he ran him back in this race too after he won the Preakness. I think the reason they're running War Will, not to jump ahead a little bit, because Cassie, that's his style. Though if the horse is healthy, he'll put him back in the race. He and Mark Cassidy, you can see he's got some Woodbine stuff underneath there. He runs a lot of his horse up in Woodbine, and he's a good trainer. He's a legit horse guy. He's no joke. Cassidy knows what he's doing. So I got a lot of respect for Mark Cassidy.
You think this might be his moment?
This race with Rosario, this on the video today too. I says there's nobody better in the business that coming off the pace with a big prize horse, because Joe could make a horse move. He knows he's got great timing when to send the horse, on deep stretch runs. And this is the kind of race that this horse is probably gonna need. I think he's gonna sit back a little bit and kind of, not way back, but he can make a stretch run. He knows when to hit that horse and make him go. He's a good button pusher, I call him. When he pushes the button, he knows how he make it happen. So and you're getting 12-1 with him. So.
Yeah, I like that too. And also, this is the first time he connects with Mark Cassidy and Rosario together. So fresh start here. And so my lucky number 7 right here. We're getting 12-1 on that one. Horse raced a lot. Might be a full race horse at the end anyhow. Only thing is that he's coming in now at the Belmont. That's the only thing that kind of worries me about this one. But I like Sir Winston.
Yeah.
I'm definitely keeping Sir Winston. That'll be nice money if he comes in.
Yeah, I like him. I like him for exotics for sure.
So we're gonna keep Winston, and let's go ahead to this one. Now I was studying a little bit earlier, and I stopped at Sir Winston. I didn't get a chance to look at Intrepid Heart. Now you let me know about Intrepid Heart.
Intrepid Heart. He ran his last race with Sir Winston, where Sir Winston came second, like I was telling you, against Global Campaign in the Peter Pan, which is at Belmont, by the way. Same thing for Intrepid Heart. Intrepid Heart is a Pletcher horse, which we just talked about, and he's been ridden by John Velasquez, which I like that angle. And he did come third behind Sir Winston in that race. But the thing I like about particularly is that they're putting blinkers on him, equipment change. Which they do that, equipment change for that reason. Also, it's his third race out on 94.6. So I think he's going to move forward in this race. And he's another tapping horse. And the damn side is Touch Gold, who is a Belmont winner also. So you put all that together. You got Velasquez. I know we're not high on third time out. You got to tap it. You got to Touch Gold. You got, he ran across the track before he ran a real solid race. Now he's got a great workout back in. Let's see, he's got a sharp workout back in June, and he's got a good, and he's got no bullets here for him. But anyway, he's got a sharp work, and he's ran across the track. So this horse could be sitting on a huge race right here at 10-1. And that's the horse I'm giving at 10-1.
Well, it's always the lucky 8 for me, so I can't hate on that. But like I said, I didn't spend a lot of time with this horse right here. Let me see what the speed looks like on this guy.
Yeah. One other thing, this horse too, has ran 3 races. He's very lightly raced. Okay. Like I say, usually a horse runs their best race at the third time out or third off the layoff. And this horse has been favored every time he's went out. But he's favored as a maiden. He won. He was favored in an allowance race. He won. He was favored in that race that he lost the last time out. So he's a beaten favorite. So that's another angle I like to look at. Anytime a horse is a beaten favorite, he come back and run his next race, even though he's stepping up in class with no doubt, but still all those little, intricacies. I like that about the horse, and then getting a good price.
And he has a nice speed. His average speed is 97. His power rating is only 97.2, which is so-so. But it's nothing compared to the horses in the race, but it's so-so. Yeah. But then another good factor is he's gonna have War Will and Tacitus on the other side of him, and that should give him, if he's a real racehorse and he's really about it, that should turn him on.
Yeah, yeah. So he'll be involved. He's gonna run the same style race as the horse we were talking about before, Spinoff. He's gonna be like Spinoff, but this horse will go a little bit farther than Spinoff in my book. I think he'll run the distance a little bit better than Spinoff because, like I say, he's got Touch Gold. He's got Touch Gold. His father was a Belmont winner. He's got Tappet. We know the story about Tappet bred horses. This horse, to me, he's got more distance in him than Spinoff. He's a comparable horse to Spinoff, I would say, running style wise.
Well, I'll tell you one thing is I don't want to take more than one of Pletcher's horses in the race, period. So I don't know which one it's gonna be, this one or Bourbon War. No, this one or Spinoff. Yeah, this one or Spinoff. Yeah. I might have to cross one of them out. I like the speed on this one. I might have to cross Spinoff as much as I got a lot of love for Jimmy. We talk about my pockets right here. So I think
Well, listen, Jimmy ain't by himself because there's a lot of people betting Spinoff right now, and they see something, other than maybe just Javier and Pletcher and whatever he's doing on the track. I mean, he's got some really nice works, prior to running a big race, up in the Derby. But maybe they like what they see him doing on the track, even though the numbers are not showing it, so to speak, on the times and the workout. So maybe he looks good. Maybe he's real fit looking. Maybe he's got a good look to him. They like it. Who knows? I mean, I haven't looked at the horse physically yet. I haven't put eyes on him, but I might see him on the track and say, "Man, nobody's beating that horse today."
Yeah.
Because there's always, you always hear the guys. You always pay attention to this too. People that are listening, when they talk about who the paddock pick is, you ever hear them talk about who they like in the paddock? See him in the paddock, they're putting a tack on him and everything. They said the horse, he's real, his coat is beautiful. He's he's standing on his toes real well. He's real alert. When a horse,
yeah.
You've been to the track many times, like I have. When you hear a horse, how he.
Yeah, I like to say.
That could be the look that.
I like to say the horse winked at me because
that's why I can't speak.
Sometimes you get that feeling. The horse winked at me.
Right. They talk at you.
Now the next horse, War Will. Now, most people want to count this, because of the trend of history and all that, which I get it, but this is a really good racehorse, to be counting out like that.
Yeah, he's battle tested. I mean, that's for sure. Like I say, he's a deserving favorite, because he did win the Preakness. If he took the inside rounds, but I mean, that's a whole other story. But I mean, this horse really hasn't done a whole lot. Race before the Derby. Now he ran against Spinoff, and Spinoff, knocked him down pretty good. Louisiana Derby and finished 8th in the Kentucky Derby for reasons that we know about. But I mean, this horse goes to the Derby. So, I mean, he's a nice horse. No question. I mean, he's got 10 lifetime starts. He's got 4 wins and a place and a show. So, he's $1.5 million. What's his average right there in the mix with everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I can't count him out. It's bad money to add him in there, but I can't, And then, you had the big factor is, he could have, this could have been a real Triple Crown besides what happened in the Kentucky Derby. And, but then again, if it was a real actual chance for a Triple Crown, we would be fading them because that rarely happened. I'd rather be beat by the Triple Crown than to go with it and lose. So I don't know. I can't. I think I have to keep this guy in the mix somehow. I guess if, like you said, if I'm gonna go 5 and I'm gonna have add 6 or something, this might be. He might be the one that I weigh it on, and that would just be basically on just beating the public. I'm just gonna beat the public.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, like they call him co-favorites, him and Tacitus,
Yeah.
but I mean, realistically, they're both right at 2 to 1, 9 to 5, almost the same. Pretty close. Like you talking pennies on a dollar.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. But I mean, he's a nice horse. I mean, to win the race, I'm not. I don't think he's going to win the race. That's just me. Because if you go, history has it, like over the past, I think like 2,000 years, 19 years, whatever the number is. There's only been 3 horses that have won the Preakness, and 2 of the 3 have been Triple Crown winners. So he's not in that standard. But I mean, if you take the Derby back out, I mean, there's a lot of systems that have been too. So who's to say they can't win it? But until the trends prove me wrong, and certain factors that play into the way the race is gonna shape up, he's definitely gonna be right there in the mix of things. Whether if he's tired, we'll know if he's tired when he doesn't come across the finish line, on and hit the board. That's the only way you're gonna know if he's really tired. But his form and everything shows good, and I'm not gonna use him. I'm probably making a mistake, but here's my thing: I got to play 2 favorites, and I'm gonna throw one of the favorites out, like you were saying. You're gonna throw one of the Pletcher horses out. I'm gonna throw one of the favorites out. And this is the one I'm throwing out.
Well, that makes a lot of sense because Tacitus is a monster of a horse. Like, I don't know if you want to say it don't get no better because there's always better, but he's definitely like an upper echelon horse. He got Ortiz on him. He has so many things in his favor. He averages, his average speed is 100. His power rating is 105. He's no lack of class or nothing in this horse. So I would say I would definitely have to keep number 10 in there, which is Tacitus. We kind of jumping ahead, but like you said, they co-favorites, so we might as well talk about them at the same time because I don't think I don't think they're gonna come 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. I don't think it's gonna happen like that. If Tacitus does pull it off, he's gonna pull it off down the stretch. It's probably going to be him and Bourbon Ward down the stretch, going the long distance right there. And he'll probably just leave Ward Will behind.
Yeah. This horse here, I mean, he wants all the distance he can get. He can handle this horse. I mean, he runs light on his feet. So for a big guy, he moves really, really good. I mean, even in the Derby, even though he was, 4th and placed by 3rd by disqualification, I mean, he was steadily getting it. He ran a nice even race, and then he had a little bit more. He had more in him. He finished out really good. So the distance is not going to be an issue for this horse at all. I had him in the Derby. That was my pick to win the Derby. I've been playing this horse all along the Triple Crown Trail when I was in Tampa Bay. I was at the race Tampa when he won that race, and that was a heck of a race. So I mean, that moves, and he's like real smooth. He doesn't he's battle tested. He doesn't have all the races that like say War Will has or some of the other horses. He's got about 6 races, 5 races, and that's good because he's probably got a lot of stamina left in him as a 3-year-old. This is his 4th race as a 3-year-old this year, and. He's the only horse really going into the other races that's got a major win, outside of let's say War Will, right? Because the Intrepid Heart, all the other horses in this race, none of them has really won a really big key race, on the Grade 1. I think War Will is the only Grade 1 winner, and Texas. That's why they're co-favorites, right? That makes sense that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just like what they got going on, with Tacitus. You got Ortiz as a New York horse. He's He's ran across the track as a maiden. He didn't break his maiden there, but he ran across the track, and then he broke his maiden in Aqueduct across town, and then he went right to and won. A lot to like about this horse. It's going to go off short price. I'm going to have him. I'm definitely going to use. The only reason I'm not playing in the win because I want to make a little bit more money, which kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So you're saying, well, why would you bet money on a horse that not bet money on a horse that you think is going to win? I said, well, just in case he doesn't run his best race, I've got two different ways I'm playing it. That's why I'm using the exactas, and I'm going to. So if the exacta hits, let's say my longer shot comes second with Tacitus, it'll stay still exactas. So I just burn a little bit of cash, not hitting the win ticket. But then if my horse wins and Tacitus comes second, I'll get even more money on the exacta. So
okay, so we made it to the good part right here. Now, let these nice folks know, since they've been tuned in to us this long, now you got to give them the treat. You got to give them your plays for today's race. And I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna follow your play over here on the Bet America app. It's gonna add it all up and everything, so everybody can see exactly, you know, how it's gonna look and everything. So go ahead. I'll be following you.
Okay, so basically, I'm going to take 5 numbers and I'm going to box them in an exacta box. Now, you can box it from anywhere from $1 to whatever you want. So for every dollar that you're going to box 5 numbers, it's going to cost you $20.
Okay.
For a $1 exacta box. So basically, you're getting 20 $1 bets or 10 $2 bets. However you work the math out, but. And what has to happen is you got to get 2 out of those 5 numbers to come first and second. Then you got a winner. So basically, I'm going to use the 5 Bourbon War. I'm going to use number 6 Spinoff. I'm going to use number 7 Sir Winston. I'm going to use number 8 Intrepid Heart. And I'm going to use number 10 Tacitus. Those are my 5 numbers for the exacta.
So you just going to draw a line all the way through the first 4.
More or less, yeah. That's the way it worked out, yeah. And then I'm going to skip the 9. Draw a line through the first 4 and skip the 9. And those are my 5 horses I'm going to use. Now, and I get the 5 and the 8 to come together, and that's going to be a bomb on the exacta. That'd probably be, probably 200. For every dollar you play it, you do the math. You're only going to have one ticket. But if you invest 100, it's not a bad day, right?
Right.
And if the 8 wins, you get 10 to 1, so you get another $22 there for every $2 you bet. So hopefully that's my ideal situation. Hopefully, I'm hoping the 8 wins the race, and I get either a Spinoff or even who's the other horse they got? Sir Winston. Those are all long shots. So. If it comes 8-7, 8-6, 8-5, I'm dancing in the street.
Okay, so on this exacta, I'm gonna do something sort of the same right here, but I'm gonna start with I'm gonna go ahead and give Tax a shot with Ortiz on there. So I'm gonna go 4, 5, and then I'm gonna go 7. Because I'm gonna skip the 6. I'm gonna go 7, 8, and 10. So 4, 5, 7, 8, and 10 for me. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 for my man Big Ragu. Exacta box. It'll cost you $20. Okay, not much money to spend to make some money with us. And let's hope it comes something real ridiculous and we get a nice payoff on that one. Now you're gonna be doing a trifecta too.
I'm passing on the tries, but if you want, you could use the same numbers in the try. Or what I would do in a trifecta, I would take the. Well, you can do the math for me. All right, let's do this now. Give me the 10 and the 8 first.
Or you want to do a trifecta box, or you doing it?
I want to key.
Key?
I want to key the.
Okay,
8.
hold on. Let me.
Yeah.
In the front, and
Yeah. See how much I want to key all five
So
numbers.
the
I want to go 8,
8.
10. You know, I want to go 8, 10,
Mm-hmm.
first and second, first, and then I want to go with all the numbers behind it.
In second.
Yeah, I want to go. I want to go 5, 6, 8, 10, or 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Okay. 8, 10 with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 behind it.
50 cents. 50 cents.
Yeah. Let me see. Uh, 10, 8.
So what I'm basically telling you is that Tacitus or Intrepid Heart's going to win the race, and any of the other four numbers can come second and third behind them.
I don't think this website, or I haven't spent a lot of time. I usually do this on my phone. Wait, I can bring my phone out and do it real quick.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll look it up. You can go to Delmar. Delmar's got a nice little bet calculator too. I usually use that when I have to show the people at the track sometimes. Even the tellers, they says, "How do you get that?" And I said, "Show them." They said, "That's
For real.
trifecta."
Yeah, that's why a lot of
cents.
time at the racetrack, and the last time I was out there with Ski and Parlay Poppy and them, I said, man, why don't y'all just get, y'all already used to betting.
It's $12.
I was like, go ahead and get a voucher so you can just bet it yourself, because going through to the window to put your bet in is gonna mess you up.
Okay, so for me to bet 8 and 10, for me to bet 8 and 10 to win either or with all the numbers is $12 for 50 cents. The 50-cent trifecta is $12. If you want to bet it for $1, it costs you 24. So basically, you're going to get half of what the trifecta box plays if you play for 50 cents. If you bet it for $24, you'll get whatever the trifecta box.
So you
pays in
saying
full.
8 and 10 with all, or 8 and 10 with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10?
No. Right, 8 and 10 to win the race, either or, with 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So my five numbers, but either 8 or 10 has to win the race.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah. The five numbers I like. In fact, matter of fact, I'm going to do that too. I'm going to probably play that for $1. Just since you brought it up,
Now you gotta play it. All right, that's right.
And you can do the same thing. You know, for 50 cents, you can do it for $12. The two horses you like on top with the other horses that you like all combined.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It all depends on what time I get to the track. I gotta relax and be able to put it all together. Sometimes I be rushing down there, and then I get there and I stumble over everything. So I'm gonna take my time and relax. I know for sure I'm on the exacta box 4 or 5. What did I say? Yeah, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10. My man Big Ragu is on 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And y'all heard it first right here. 2019 Belmont Stakes Preview. We did it right here with the assistance of me, my man Big Ragu, the Bet America app, and also the Horse Racing Nation app. There you go. I'm getting tired. It's getting late.
Yeah, it's like we're midnight here. So.
Yeah, we taping late night. Y'all gonna see this bright and early in the morning. We appreciate everybody from hanging in there and hanging out with us. And we gonna go ahead and get out of here. Any words you want to tell the people, Big Ragu?
That's the main thing, you know. Don't bet more than you can afford to lose. And if you're not sure of anything, if you're at the track for like a lot of new people, got some players that play, and some people that really don't know the language of the track. It's not really complicated. You just go, you have a little fun. You pick a horse you like to win. You know, pick a number, pick a name, whatever you want to do, and throw $2 down on the horse to win. You know, something that you can build on. You know, take that information, study it a little bit, and like I say, go to the track and have fun. Just have a good time.
There it is there. And it's also fun hanging out with you right here, Big Ragu. It's always a pleasure, man. Who-Bangin Sports. You've heard it here first. The Big Ragu 62. Follow him on Twitter. I'm DJ Big Boss, and we out of here. Tuning in to Who-Bangin Sports Talk. Hey, do me a favor. Head on over to our YouTube